Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are going back into the world of chamber life and business resource groups and all that with our friends here from New York, Stephen and Hobson. How are you guys?
Hi, Matt. How are you? Thanks for having us.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Yes, if you made my name, yes, you did.
I am learning to speak with that Portuguese Brazilian accent. No, we had met at uniquely enough an LGBT group within the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, and that's been like that and other groups. That's been a big part of your lives there, yes?
Yeah, that was one of the first networking groups that we joined. It came to us from a business meeting called Out Business Builders, which is all LGBT. And through that, we met the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce and started coming to the socials, which is where we met you and where we've met so many people.
Yeah. No, I know that, especially during this pandemic and quarantine, the whole networking part has kind of gone virtual. So have you participated in any of those?
A lot of them. Hobson does every 2 weeks breakfast meetings with Out Business Builders. And interestingly enough, we've been with these groups for a couple of years now, and through them, a lot of new partnerships. When the COVID came, I think a lot of companies, a lot of small companies started realizing that they needed to create partnerships. And through these first networking groups that we started, we got a partnership with several different people, groups.
And what do you guys do for a living? What is your day job?
Well, I got my start. I used to be in hospitality, sales and marketing, mostly for boutique hotels. And then when the last downturn happened, a lot of my job was eliminated, and Hobson can tell you about himself.
Yeah, so my background has always been design. I graduated in graphic design in '92. And that's what I've been doing until like 7 years ago when I left a 9-to-5 job and started AG2 Digital. And here we do branding, website design, and SEO mostly. I take care of the creative side, and Steve takes care of the marketing and the sales side of the business.
Yeah. Well,
and when he says branding, it's a visual branding. So it's logos, website design. And then recently, in the past couple of years, we moved into the SEO area where we do traditional SEO and then local SEO.
Well, what's interesting, we've noticed it a bit here, but I think much because we're more on the pure outreach and marketing side, but you guys build out a lot of infrastructure for clients that are trying to get their foundations correct. And it seems to me, and I think you'd agree that some of that business has actually increased during this downtime, yeah?
Yeah, I think when things like this happen, a lot of people lose their jobs, and a lot of people decide to go out on their own, which is exactly what we did. And that's what we do. We help support startups, mostly startups and some rebranding, but it's so just getting them started with a logo and picking colors and getting their first email address that's not Gmail or AOL. Yeah. It really visually brands you and makes you feel like a company. And that's where we are, how we help people in times like this.
Yeah, help them get their infrastructure in place.
Exactly.
But on another note, Hobson, you've actually you're from Brazil, and you've been actually working on a totally different project in Brazil as well. Yes.
Yes, Matt. I do. Most of my family is in Brazil. And my niece, who is a 27-year-old young woman, she is a criminal lawyer, and she works with the trans community as well, doing pro bono work. And as we were talking a couple of months ago, she was mentioning that the community has been hit very hard with the coronavirus due to what they do. They either work in entertainment business or beauty business, or even sex work, excuse me. And, excuse me. And the social services in Brazil is almost none, and the government doesn't help either. So we took upon ourselves to create a GoFundMe page and collect some money to send to them and help them out in this very difficult times. And I believe that's something that we want to do in a permanent basis, just giving back to the community, especially down in Brazil where they need so much.
It's interesting how many things we're examining now in our lives and realizing that the pandemic kind of pivoted us and inspired us to try new things, but things that are going to live with us for the foreseeable future after when this is behind us.
Exactly. What happened is it brings us together, and then we can look at each other much, much closer and say, hey, I can come here and help you out, even when things go back to the new normal, whatever the new normal will be. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think at a time when our business actually increased because of the situation, we just felt like we wanted to give back in some way and help someone else. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of need here, but in Brazil, we're so lucky in New York City or in this country. We do have social programs, and we do have infrastructure in place to help our communities. In Brazil and where he's from, there's really nothing. And the GoFundMe page is called Amo. Is it Amo Trans?
Amo Trans.
Yeah.
And, wow. Yeah. So it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, no, this is wonderful. And again, I look forward to when we're actually able to have these conversations and go back to how we first met, which is at one of these mixers in the real world again.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I think we're going to come back and like have a different relationship too, and just like hug each other and touch each other. Like it's going to feel different. It's going to feel great.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm totally with you. Well, this is wonderful to have you guys on with us and to share your stories. And like I said, look forward to catching up in the real world soon.
Thanks very much, Matt.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Take care.